Good morning and welcome to the instructional handover video for this 2019 Burstner Lyseo Limited TD744. I'm going to walk you around the outside first, then we'll take you on the inside. So it's based on a Fiat 2.3 150. We've got the nice silver cab, folding mirrors. This particular model come with the cab steps, so that was the extra. We've got the habitation door step, the larger hardtail door, an awning light above the door. We've got one in the awning itself, and I'll send you a separate video of how the full awning works as well. We've got a barbecue point just fitted above there in the panel. We've got your toilet cassette. To lift the toilet cassette up, we lift it up, slide it out. We've got the little vacuum button that releases the air out of the toilet when you're emptying it to give you a freer flow. And we've got the cap on the top which unscrews to empty it. We've also got a handle and we've got wheels on this particular model. You will need to make sure that the toilet cassette is in the right position, the blade valve inside, to release that out, and I'll show you later in the vehicle. On the Burstners, we've got one key that operates all the external lockers, including the habitation door manually. On here, we've got an external point here, which gives us mains, 12 volt. There is an aerial connection, but you will need to ask your salesman if you want that connecting to the actual aerial, if there is an aerial fitted to the vehicle, because they're not standard, to make sure that you can connect up to a site aerial system. On the rear locker doors here, there's a door retainer. We've also got an alarm system fitted to this particular one, but again, it was not standard. Main socket in here is standard for this particular year. We've got your ladders, carpets, and a light just in there. So your light will come on once you turn the power on to the control panel unit inside, and we've got your winding handle just there for the awning itself. Doors just close and lock. On this particular one, we've got a tow bar fitted just down there. It is type approved. We've got the rear window and the rear view camera just up there. Passenger side, we've got another external locker area. Got the cab carpets just in there, and it is heated in here, so you can turn the vents to heat it in the garage area should you want things to dry in there or keep the heat in that garage area. Forward of that, we've got the fridge vents, so lower and higher. Again, you can buy additional vents should you want for this. And then forward of that, we've got the external gas locker area. We'll take 2 bottles. There's a regulator just fitted there. We do advise, if it's propane bottles, Cala 2 6s will adequately fit in there. You will need to buy a pigtail because they're not supplied with used vehicles to connect it, or you can get 2 gas low bottles, 11 kilograms, will fit into that one nice and easily. Forward of that, we've got the vent for the Truma system. Please be careful, it does get hot. You do not need to remove anything from there. On the door to the service locker area, you'll see there's a key. The key goes onto the little handle marked here. So you'll just see here. Goes on there. And that releases the wastewater out of that plastic tube there. So that is any water that's gone down the sink, the shower, or the bathroom area. So wastewater handle, turn it quarter of a turn, yeah, that empties it, quarter of a turn, then stops the water from coming out, and we'll hold it in the tank. Wastewater key, located just on the bracket, just on the door there. The service locker area can be found just here, and will close with a little cutout just like that when you're on site, so you don't need to leave it open, guys. We've got the fresh water cap, so if we release that cap, then the little black bracket there will sit on there, allow you to fill up the freshwater tank. Your hose pipe sits there. Once it's full, it will overflow out of the vehicle. To fill up and close and empty the fresh water, you need to turn this valve here. So turn it clockwise, you'll hear a click. That's the 20 litre. Keep going until it's finger tight. That will be the 120 litre. Emptying it anti-clockwise, the first click will empty it till 20 litres. Keep going until it's finger tight. We'll empty the tank completely. If you forget to do this when you put your water in here, it will just drain underneath the vehicle out there. Mains plug-in points found in this area. We've got the drain valve for the water lines, which is this yellow valve. In the up position as it is now, it is draining the water system. Flick it down, it will allow the water system to hold the water in there. If you forget, again, it will drop underneath the vehicle. And then the last option here is this little black box here with the blue diamond on the top. This is your frost protection valve. So at the minute, with the little nipple out at the top and the blue button out at the bottom, it will empty the boiler of any water. The minute you turn the hot water tap on, it will empty out. To fill it up, you'll need to twist that button so it's facing towards you and press the blue button in. Now the only time it won't do that is if it is lower than 4 degrees in this area. At that point you'll have to put the heating on first, heat it up because you've got a heater pipe just here, and then go and do it. We're emptying it, flick, lift, and anti-clockwise just on there. Now locking this area, you'll see there's a red band around it. When the red band's on, you can open and shut it, but it is still open. To lock it, you'll need to turn the key, press the button in, and when you see it flush there, it is fully lockable. So unlock that, just put your key in, turn it, and you'll see that the red band appears again. So that's your service locker, the main part of the vehicle where everything's located. Forward of that, we've got diesel filler point, so pre-2020 is no AdBlue, and then we've got accessibility here into the vehicle. We've got the Remis blinds on the windows, both on the front and the back, just like so. Just be gentle pushing them in and out. And then on the front, they just clip together and go across, just like so. And clip back into the little slot there. We've got the bonnet release catch, the engine battery. Underneath this seat is where you will find all the main fuses. So there's all your old fuses are under here. That does slide out and you can gain access to your e-box and your main fuse. So that is under the passenger seat. We've got mirror switches, window switches for the passenger. Your mirror switches are on the driver's side. The bonnet release catch, so directly above the Burstner sign, you will find there's a little yellow lever. Lift that up, that will give you access under the bonnet. Negative point is just here where my finger's pointing. Down here, underneath the cap, which you remove using a key, is your positive point. To the left of that, we've got oil and dipstick, and further left again, we've got your screen wash. Once you've finished under there, gently close it, and that allows you to drive on or do whatever else you plan to do. So that's the outside of the vehicle done. Let's move on inside. So open the door. We've got a blind, a bin, dustpan and brush under there, and a fly screen fitted to it. I said about the step, the button's just here. Push it in, lifts up, push it down, it goes out. The first two buttons, so this one and this one, are the welcoming lights. So your awning light and the large one on the awning. The third one is your welcome light into the van, and they work independent of the power on the main control panel. The main control panel can be found to your left as you're entering, just here, and we have an indicator just above telling us that we are hooked up to mains. To get the power working, you need to press this far left button. You'll see again another light indicates to say that we've got power in the vehicle. The top button is the voltage in your leisure battery. Bottom button is the voltage in your engine battery. Top right is any water in your freshwater tank. There's none at the minute. And the bottom one is any water in your wastewater. Next one along is your pump. And once you turn it on, that gives power to the pump. Doesn't turn the pump on until you lift up the actual handles on the sink. Yeah, but that gives you power to it. We've also got 12 volt mains and an aerial point TV bracket just fitted there. So the first thing to do is once you've filled up with water, you put your pump on. Want to turn your tap to hot, which is just marked on the top of the tap then. Lift it up. Once there's water in, it will kick the pump in and then allow you initially to probably spit and spurt water around your vehicle. Run that water tap until there's a steady stream, and I'd advise you to do that in the bathroom and in the sink area. Once you've got a steady stream, then you can go to your heating and your hot water. Yeah? You can run the heating without hot water, and I'll show you to do that, but if you want to get your water running, that's what I do first of all. Pull it through your boiler, so it'll pull the air out of the boiler. Once you've got a steady stream, turn it off, and then go to heater controls. For your cold water, you simply go that side, lift it up, and the tap will kick in again. As soon as you turn the tap off, the pump will stop. Yeah? So you can see there, we've got a chopping board that goes over there, and you've got a sink plug just inside there. So what we will go through first, we'll go through the lounge area first. So on this particular one, part of the Limited was the L-shaped seating area. So the table slides left and right, forward and backwards, and also spins 360 degrees. To lock it in place, we've got a little locking point here that will lock it in place. If you've got travelling passengers, the vehicle is fitted with 2 additional seat belts, which are behind here. You will need to remove this cushion and the seat base to give your passengers more space to sit in that area. Yeah, the table can be in any position for travelling, doesn't matter, but all I would recommend is once you've got it in the ideal position is just lock it back in place there. Underneath this side seat you will find the leisure battery fitted, and that is also where the solar panel is fitted on this particular model. That's the regulator just to the left hand side there. There are provisions for another leisure battery should you want to do it, but we always advise that if you're doing this you change both batteries at the same time. I'm going to leave that down because you'll need that down to put the bed down in the front area. We'll also need to do it on this side one as well. So just pull it off the little switches there. That allows us to drop the bed. This particular one has been fitted with a drop down bed. The key is in here, so you turn the key and press the button. Make sure there's nothing else obvious under there, but then the drop down bed will come down and it will simply stop at the limit switch. Under here we've got our own lights. There's a light to turn, some light switches there, so just remember they just push in. So simply just push in the light and turn it on, push in the light to turn it off. We've got a Hecky roof vent, which I'll show you in a minute how to use, and then underneath the bed we've got the safety nets for people that are worried about falling out. When you finish using it, press the button and lift it up. You do have ladders to give you access up to this bed area. Now we do advise you in the winter months, if you're not using it, just drop the bed down to probably about there, let it ventilate and air out, then you'll not get any problems with anything sort of moulding over the winter period if you're not using it. You can leave your bedding and your pillows on. Your pillows are really thick, then we will advise you to move your pillows off and just put them either side, just up there. So the front area does have a blind and a flat screen fitted to it, just slides out the rail, and it does open. To open it you press the buttons in and then you will lift it up and just use the little wheels to hold it in place either side. Release the wheels and then close it in. Please never drive off with this window open. It is not designed to do that. We've got some storage areas just around the front here, and underneath here is where you will find storage, and here is where the manual key goes in for the bed if the bed ever fails on electric. So that's where that little cutout goes there. We'll show you the tool when you come to collect. Again, storage in this side. You'll have all the packs and the manuals that have been supplied. The lights twist off and move around the vehicle. So you can put them on and move them wherever you want, turn them on and off. It's also a USB socket fitted with this. Again, can be moved anywhere in the rails. Yeah? So that's that. Again, let's just straighten ourselves up. And there we go. Okay, into the floor area, we've got your double floor accessibility, so you can use it for storage. We've got 2 compartments, one at the front and one in the middle, just there. In the kitchen area, here is where you will find your isolators for your cooker, your heater and your fridge. Below that we've got your utensil drawer, and below that we've got a deep storage area. Underneath the cooker area we've got your main RCD breaker, which is just there. To test that it's working, you press the test button above, and if it is like it is there, it will drop the switches down. Simply press it back up and that will turn it on. We'll always advise you to try this if you don't think you've got mains power coming into the vehicle, and we'll say go to the main RCD breaker, hit the test button, just revert back to this video and that will help you. Above that we've got the new XXX Thetford cooker unit. We've got the 3 burner gas hob on the top. We've got the oven and the grill options there. Oven, grill to the right, just on and off, oven to the left, and then we'll regulate. 12 o'clock position is off, and then you've got your igniter there that will do that. Please heed the note on here, don't put it down onto a naked flame, and also please allow it to cool down before you close that lid. The blinds and fly screens all operate the same way. So they're all in the cassette unit. Lift it up, do it. And similar to the overhead roof light, press them buttons, lift it up, turn the little handle clockwise, and that will hold the windows open. When you're ready, close it back and lock it in place. Behind that, we've got a microwave which is had fitted by the previous owner. This only works on mains, so just be sure that you are connected up to mains if you're trying to get that to work, otherwise it will not work. Below that, we've got your fridge unit. Now, to get it on, we press the button here and hold it, and it will light up just like that. So you can select the automatic, and for those of you that already know how these units work, it's automatically gone to the mains electric because we are plugged into mains. If you want to do it manually, then you press it there. So the gas obviously will only work when the gas is on, and then the battery will only work when the engine is running. If you select auto, it will search for the automatic source. So at the minute we're plugged in, like I said, so it's going for that. To turn the heating or the temperature down from hot to coldest, you'll use a little thermostat button there. And then this little button reverts to the sticker at the side. If you've tried it on gas and it's locked tight, you'll need to reset it using that button just there. On here, we've got the fridge unit. Yeah, and we've got the freezer compartment just up here. So just there. Underneath here, we've got another storage area. So a nice drawer area there. Then it takes us to the back area here, where we've got a couple of light switches. So low down little night lights, and then the main lights around the back. Press the button, it opens it up into the wardrobe area. Your toolkit is located here. Your aerial booster is located there, and the aerial that's been fitted as an additional function is just above here. To increase the height of it, you'll just release that little buckle there and lift it up, and then lift it back down, depending on what you're wanting to do. Once you're moving off, pull it back down, guys, and then lock it in place for your transit onwards. Underneath here, we've got another storage area that lifts up. This is also your step access to give you access up onto the bed. To push it back in, there's a little button here that you'll need to just press in, and just press the button in to lock it in place. The divider, you've got a little push button there, which will allow you then to close off that front area from the back area itself. There's a rear TV point been fitted into this particular vehicle from factory, and we've got the blinds and the fly screens that are on it. When moving the bed down, we do advise you to just push them back up and out of the way. Underneath the bed, we've got storage. This corner one, make sure that you press one down before you open the other. And just like the front area, here is where the bed key will go in should the bed mechanism fail. Underneath, we've got two little buttons to press here. This removes the table in this particular area, and at the end you will find that there is a little lever just there, which you lock in place or release the height of that table. Just a coffee table or a drinks table for that area. To pop it back down, you just firmly press your hand in the middle and use the locking bar to lock it. Behind me, we've got some storage in this area. Just again, make sure before you move off that you lock them in place. To slide the door, just gently move the first bit back, and then secondly move that back, and it will lock in place there. The switch here is an internal PIR for the alarm system that is fitted as an extra on this particular vehicle. To drop the bed down, put the key in, press the button. Now what you will need to do is remove the seat cushions. So it only takes a minute to remove the cushions out of there, just velcroed on. Press the button down, the bed will come down to its fixed position, and then you will use the step, just like so, to gain your access on there. Again, like the front drop down bed, you will have options here, just to put the lights on, and you've got the Hecky roof light just located just there. Again, you can use your beddings. Again, leave it drop down when you're not using it over the winter. Through the normal years usage, if your pillows again are not too big, you can leave it up. You can stop it at any height as well. So if you don't want it all the way up, you can do that. Otherwise, it is on a limit switch, which will stop it in the position just there, giving you a bit of headroom. Again, remembering just to press that back in, lock in place, and then put the cushions back in, which once you've done this a couple of times, doesn't actually take too long to do it. And then we're back up and running for the lounging. So, forward into the main control panel area. To the left hand side of here, we've got your heating. To turn it on, we press and hold the centre button. You'll see there's an indicator also to tell you that there's power to it. So there's 4 main options on here. The first one being the motorhome. If you press that and turn the lever, that will set the temperature that we want it in the vehicle. If it's below that temperature, that will flash, and it will stop flashing once it reaches temperature. With water in the boiler, we can press the next button and we can either turn it off. Eco, which is like a 40-degree setting. Hot, which is a 60-degree. Or boost, which takes all the power away from the heating to get the water up to temperature. To work both heating and hot water efficiently, you want it on hot and high. Now, I've no water in at the minute, so I'm going to turn it off. And this is what you do if you're trying to heat the chamber for the frost protection valve, should it be really cold. The third option is the source that we're trying to heat it with. So EL2 is electric 2 kilowatt, electric 1 kilowatt is EL1, mix of gas and 2 kilowatt electrics is mix 2, mix 1 is 1 kilowatt electric and gas, and then gas only. So turn it to the desired setting. And then the third and fourth option, sorry, is either boost, which takes all the power away from the hot water, high, which is a high setting, and then eco, which is a low setting. So whatever you change, it does it at the top just here. And then if you press it, it will then kick in, start heating the vehicle. And then if you've got the water on, start heating your hot water. It does take about 40 to 50 minutes to heat the hot water. It's more efficient on gas or on mix to get you up to temperature. The bottom button is a timer sequence, a clock setting, and your setting options. One big advice on this is turn on the gas and plug in the electric before you turn it on. And before we turn everything off, press and hold that button, and it will turn the unit off before we unplug the electric and turn off the gas. On exiting the vehicle, press the power button off. That turns all the power off to the vehicle. And then the light switches, 2 separate buttons here, will turn the power off to the welcoming area there. One thing that you may have, if you don't use the vehicle through the winter months very often, now this head unit, the double din unit here, will go into a sleep mode. So to get that back out of the sleep mode, what you will need to do is just turn the power on and off, like so. On, off. That will also be applicable for the step, sometimes goes into a hibernation setting. So once you've done that, to slide the seats forward, there's a bar between your legs. There's an adjuster for the front and the back height, and a backrest adjuster just there. So slide them round, we'll be able to show you the cab. We've got the mirror switches, the electric window switches, steering wheel controls, leather steering wheel, leather gear knob. It's the 6-speed Fiat gearbox, manual. We've got speed limiter and cruise control on the lower one, lights and indicators on the top. On the opposite side, we've got the windscreen wipers, and on the end of it, we've got a little trip counter. We've got air conditioning, traction plus, hill descent, hazard lights and a lock button. We've got cup holders down here as well, and a coin holder and charging points. So that concludes the instructional video for the limited TD744. This Burstner's probably the flagship model at the moment, probably the most popular model that we have currently at Emm-Bee. We hope you enjoy your motorhome. We look forward to your feedbacks and comments, but most importantly, look forward to where it takes you on your new adventures. Thank you.